After Queen Elizabeth put on the lipstick, her mood turned cheerful again. This relieved Falma's heart from Queen Elizabeth's wrath.
すごいぞ唇がプルンプルンじゃん
The next day, Falma, Bruno, Charlotte, Blanche, and Ellen went to Marseille. Falma temporarily closed the medicine shop. Bruno wanted to discuss the city's development and the trade reports here. Marseille is a city that is very famous for its herbs and medicinal plants. Then Bruno told Falma to play on the beach with Blanche and others. But he warned Falma not to swim in the ocean because he was still a child. After Falma arrived at the beach, Blanche asked permission to play in the water by the sea with Charlotte. At first, Falma didn't allow it because they couldn't swim. Then Falma allowed it because Blanche and Charlotte asked permission using their cuteness. Ellen also wanted to go swimming to enjoy this beautiful beach.
いやいやいや俺の目の毒なんですけど
Ellen also invited Falma, but Falma didn't want to come because he was still thinking about his beloved sister, who had died. But suddenly, when Ellen had just joined them on the beach, there was a big wave that dragged Blanche into the middle of the sea. Falma, who saw this, immediately helped her because he didn't want to lose his beloved family members again. Likewise, Ellen immediately followed Falma to help pull Blanche to the mainland. Then Blanche started to sink. Unfortunately, Falma couldn't reach her hand. Suddenly, Falma cast out his god's power by accident at the thought of removing the water around Blanche to help her. Falma, Ellen, and Charlotte were shocked after seeing this magic. Falma immediately tried to hold back the seawater because Ellen was still there. After reaching the shore, Falma checked Blanche's condition, and luckily she didn't drink much seawater when she drowned earlier. Then Ellen asked about the power that Falma had just released because that kind of power wasn't from the negative attribute divine arts, but Falma could do it. Falma was surprised after hearing that from Ellen. He also didn't know why he could cast such overwhelming magic. Falma also thought that Charlotte was frightened by the power that Falma released just now. Even though Falma's power was weird, Ellen still admired him for saving Blanche from danger.
お前だけでも助けられてよかった私の真実ではどうすることもできなかったファルマ君はすごいことをしたのね
At night, Falma was still contemplating because of the magic he had cast earlier. At first, Falma thought of removing the water around Blanche, but it turned out that his result was like this. If Falma didn't control his thoughts, maybe Ellen and Blanche could be dehydrated because the water content in the human body was also lost. Then Falma told Charlotte to go to bed soon because it was late. Falma also apologized for scaring Charlotte earlier this morning. But Charlotte said that she wasn't afraid of Falma's magic power, she was just shocked, and Charlotte felt guilty for neglecting to keep an eye on Blanche. Falma didn't mind that because keeping an eye on Blanche was Falma's job. You can't swim either, so don't blame yourself too much, Falma said. Falma also said that Charlotte was a part of his family, so he didn't want to let Charlotte be in any danger. After hearing that, Charlotte was very grateful for not being scolded by Falma, and Charlotte also wouldn't forget Falma's words. But Charlotte suddenly felt embarrassed for misinterpreting Falma's words just now. A few days later, a group discussed the sea hole in the city of Marseille. They knew this because there was one of the orphanage children who saw Falma's magic while helping Blanche. After they investigated, the power of the divine arts on the coast of Marseille city was still there, which was abnormal. So, this group will eliminate Falma for possessing demonic powers and having nobody's shadow in this world. A week had passed, Falma's shop reopened, and customers were already queuing in front of the shop. Falma was surprised and also grateful that many customers had arrived. Many other visitors were also coming to this shop for the first time. Then Falma saw that two mysterious people were very suspicious. During a lunch break, they were confused by the two mysterious people earlier. Ellen and Charlotte thought Falma was targeted by them because Ellen and Charlotte had served them but got no response. The two mysterious people also have different uniforms from Queen Elizabeth's empire. The next day, when Falma's shopkeeper opened the gate, suddenly, a horse cart came rushing in and scattering dirt all over Falma's shop area. Bruno, who received the report from the guards, was furious at the actions that someone had taken. Then Bruno ordered the guards to report this to the queen. The one who had given this must have wanted to take down Falma's shop and declare war on the Bruno family. Bruno also asked Falma, "Is someone suspicious in your shop?" Then Falma would investigate it first because he couldn't just accuse others. Falma was also curious about today's incident with the two mysterious people yesterday. After that, Falma immediately went to his shop, and there was already Cedric helping to clean up the dirt and soil here. Then Cedric showed Falma the shop state and removed the smell of dirt there. Cedric said that Ellen and Charlotte had already brought some medicine upstairs. Medication deliveries to customers in their respective homes are also on the way. The residents there will help clean up the mud and soil at Falma's shop, including Mr. Jean, who brought his friends there. They were greatly helped by the medicine Falma was selling, which was cheaper than other noble shops. Falma thanked them for helping to clean up his shop. Suddenly, there was a girl who asked Falma for help. Her father fainted at work and hasn't regained consciousness until now. Then Mr. Jean and the residents there told Falma to check on the girl's father first. They would take care of the cleaning in the shop while Falma was away. Then Falma thanked them again and got ready to meet the girl's father. The girl pointed out where her father had fainted, and after arriving there, it turned out that this place was very far from the city. When Falma wanted to ask where the girl's father was again, she suddenly disappeared. Then Falma was surrounded by a group who turned out to be deliberately trapping Falma using the girl earlier. One of the men there asked, "Are you a child who has no shadow and instantly dispels seawater?" 答え異端審問官である